Instant reaction number two. This is another movie that I was really excited for after seeing. I only saw the one trailer. I did see a second one that kind of spoiled some things at the end, which we can spoil later, or we can non-spoiler it. It's up to you, Dustin. Presence, Neon. I wasn't really familiar with Neon's game until 2024. With long legs, cuckoo stuff like that. But we got Lucy Liu in it. Chris Sullivan. He's Benny from Stranger Things season one, which we just
Uh,
reviewed on
uh,
DGOT the series.
He's Taserface from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, that's right. Old Taserface, I remember. This was a good movie, man. Like I really enjoyed it. Like it's a I know I'm just gonna be like a parrot to every other person who's watched and reviewed this movie. It's nothing. I've never seen anything like that. Like just everything about this movie is so unique, which I'll touch on more. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of Presence. Like it made me feel things, and I liked it. What are your basic general thoughts?
Yeah, let me start by saying I'm fine with doing spoilers on this one. So let's start there and say spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the movie Presence, cut it off, revisit after you see the movie, because this one's kind of hard to talk about without spoiling to me. Um, I liked it, man. I thought this movie, I thought it was very good. Like it has heart, and that's one of my
Mm-hmm.
favorite things that I look for in movies is movies that make you feel something, make movies that have emotions and evoke emotions, and this one does. Um, I, as I've said before, I've seen all the A24 movies. So after I did that, I decided let's watch all the Neon movies. I've seen a handful of them, and they're pretty good. So let's see all the Neon movies. So far, I'm up to 66 out of 115, and I was not disappointed by this one. I thought the acting was good. I think the family dynamic. Oh, well, we'll get into pros in a minute. I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah. Do you just want to go ahead and just keep going on with your pros?
Sure. So I think the family dynamic was really good. You've got parents that don't seem to be on the same page, but also feels very believable and natural because, once you've been in a relationship for that long and you've got two kids, you do tend to grow apart at times. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The husband and wife dynamic was very believable. Like they're on the same team, but not on the same page. And right underneath that, the brother and sister dynamic was very believable. You know, um, it seems like the brother does have love for the sister, but at the same time, he's a brother and he thinks, "Oh, she's so stupid." And the daughter, the sister, she's going through things like she's going through a huge obstacle, a huge life event. The loss of her best friend, and you've got the daddy's girl dynamic and the mama's boy dynamic. The mother and son are much closer than the mother and daughter. The father father and daughter are much closer than the uh, mother and daughter. So I think that was really good. And then the so the huge pro for me was yes, this is horror, but really it was more of a drama to me. It reminded me a lot of the A24 movie A Ghost Story, to where yep, there's ghosts, it's a haunted house, but that's not what we're talking about here. That's not the main story. The trailer just showed, the trailer I saw, and I again, when I go to the theater and I see these trailers, I don't really pay attention. I kind of half watch them because I don't want to have things spoiled for me. But I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, haunted house. Okay, I'm in. Lucy Liu. Okay, I'm in. Yeah, this looks pretty good. But
Neon. Yep.
that's Neon. And so that's what I took away from the trailer was, okay, it's a haunted house movie. Some things are moving in the house. The house is shaking. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm in. But it's so much deeper than that. Like I said, this is spoiler filled, so cut it off. I'm going to say some things. In the movie, there's a presence, and Chloe, the daughter, she feels very close to this presence. She thinks it's her best friend that had just died, and then they invite a median over I don't know what you call them other than median. I don't remember the word they used in the movie, but someone that can sense spirits and has a connection with the afterlife or what have you. And this woman told her that there's definitely a presence here. I don't think it wants to hurt you. I think it wants to protect you. and freaks everyone out. And then she comes back and she says, I know why it's here. It's something that hasn't happened yet. It has to do with a window that wouldn't open. And, it turns out that, and they also mentioned how the past and the present are happen simultaneously. This presence that's here doesn't know when it is. So that's where I said it reminded me of A Ghost Story, because A Ghost Story is the first movie that I saw that I can remember that really played with that aspect of ghosts. Like, they exist all at once. They don't know when it is. Time is nonlinear. And so in the end of the movie, when we see what's happening to the daughter and the brother is able to sluggishly get up the stairs and save her life, and then basically sacrifices himself, we realize, oh my God, the presence that was here this whole time was the brother. That's incredible to me. That was emotional to me. And especially after the story ends and the family's selling the house, they're moving out because they just lost their son. They can't live there. Totally get that. And then the mom goes in the living room, looks in the mirror, and sees her son's reflection. But it's not really there. He's not behind her, obviously. Holy cow. Like, that's emotional. That was really well done. Last positive that I'll give, and I'll pass the baton to you, but I love how the movie was shot.
Oh yeah.
Every scene was done in one long take, one long shot. Like, we are the presence. We're seeing things from the perspective of the presence that's in this house. And we never exit the house, not once. The entire movie is shot in this house. Fantastic. And then the scene ends, it just cuts to black. And then the next scene starts. It comes in, sharp cut. And I just think that that's brilliant, because that also plays with the presence doesn't know when it is. Like, it doesn't see everything. It's just kind of coming and going, and seeing things from the perspective of this presence. It was so effective. And just the way they were able to use the camera work to establish, and even the sound design, like when the presence moved from one room to the next, the voices faded out, yet still echoed, like they're really in that other room talking. I thought it was great. And then the biggest positive that I have that I was going to save is the fact that Julia Fox is not in the movie nearly as much as I thought she was. Thank God. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad you touched on the actual filmmaking part too, because you were getting emotional over there, and I was feeling it. No, but seriously, to me, like, I don't want this to come across wrong, but it felt like it was made by amateurs, but in a super professional way. Like you mentioned, like, the camera shots were just like kind of far away, then they kind of zoomed in and followed like whoever it was in that scene, then it kind of just cut to black. But it was so well done. Like, they took like an amateuristic approach, but did it so well. Like, it really, like, those like long cuts, like you were talking about, like, just really got you invested in the characters. Like the dad, let's give a big shout out to Chris Sullivan again, man. He was so good. Like, the dad just gave an outstanding performance. Like, he, like, emotional, like you mentioned. Like, there's so much shit going on in the family dynamic, and I really appreciated it. Like, I'm not gonna lie now, old Lucy Lou Rebecca, I thought she had like some feelings for her own son. Like in that one scene, I know what I'm talking about. Like, she's like grabbing on his hand, on his shoulder. I'm like, damn, Lucy Lee, you trying to bounce on your son right now? Goodness gracious, like, this is ridiculous. But no, like you mentioned at the end, the reveal. I thought the reveal with the friend who had, like, her boyfriend or whatever, like, he was the one who killed her two friends. I thought that was a great reveal too. Like, it caught me off guard. Like, he so subtly revealed that he's the one who killed her friends. I was like, oh shoot, I really love that. And I'm just letting everybody listen now. Like, if you listen to this and hadn't seen it, you just had the whole movie ruined, and I apologize. Yeah. But I just want to read this this comment I saw. I'm sure you've probably seen this this lady on TikTok. Her name is Horror Chronicles. She's a big account. I know if you've seen her, probably. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, probably.
But this, I'm not even going to read the name of the commenter. It's user and a bunch of numbers, but it's a really good comment. Grief can open you up to other realms of consciousness, which is why the mother was able to see him at the end. I thought it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And like, even if you watch that trailer where the son is revealed in the mirror, it's not going to spoil anything because you just think the son is there, like, behind her. Like they did that trailer well. Like I know you don't think the same about Companion, but these trailers were done very well in my opinion. And I saw other people comment in like non-spoiler reviews that I watched going up to it, like how much this movie kind of reminded them of like Nell in like The Haunting of Hill House. Like her future self is trying to warn her of like what's to come. I thought it was brilliant. I really liked this movie a lot. It made me feel some type of way, and that's always been one of the most important things to me. Is like I either got to be able to disconnect and just have fun with it, or I need to have some type of emotional pull, or like Heretic, like a tension, like damn, he's kind of making a lot of good points. Feel like something like that. Like I got to feel like either unsettled or like emotional, like at something like for movies now.
For sure. I think it's funny that you said it felt like it was filmed by amateurs, and I know you didn't mean that as a slight, but like Steven Soderbergh, who did the movie, he's done a ton of big stuff. He did the
Oh
Ocean's
no,
movies,
I
Magic
know.
Mike, Contagion.
No, no, no. I didn't mean that in a bad way. I'm just
No,
saying
I
it
know,
took
I know.
like an amateuristic approach because it's like, but I liked it a lot. Though it's like it's just following people.
It
Like
it
there's
felt
is it's not like
it felt like
Christopher
an
Nolan or anything.
it felt like an indie film, which
Yes, exactly.
it's made by Neon. So yeah, that's what we want. So I liked it.
No, I liked it a lot too, and I'll just save you a lot of time. I really don't have that many qualms. I mean, if you're tired, if you go to this movie and you're tired, you might think there's some pacing issues, but I like this movie a lot. I really don't have many qualms with it. I saw your letterbox rating. I'm going to log mine tonight too, and I'm right in the same ballpark with you. And it might get even better on another watch, just so I can catch other things.
Yeah. I've got a couple of issues. Number one, I don't like how, and maybe some families are like this, but by golly, mine wasn't. These kids just dropping f bombs left and right in front of their parents.
Yeah,
I
that's
would have been,
true.
I would have been smacked right in the mouth. But that was kind of crazy. But no, my main major issue was when the dad's on the phone with, I assume his attorney. He's like, what are the implications for the family if one spouse is involved in illegal activity? What was the illegal? What are you talking about? That meant nothing. That meant absolutely nothing. That didn't get fleshed out. That didn't get addressed anymore. What are you
Yeah,
talking
they
about, guy?
Yeah, I mean, I saw where it's like the mom is obviously doing like some sketchy stuff at work to like afford where they live in and all that stuff, but like they didn't flesh it out enough to like what
Yeah.
it was and why she was doing it. Like they could have delved into that more.
Like she's deleting a bunch of emails, but the camera was so far away that we couldn't read. I don't know about you. I couldn't read the email contents or even the subject line. So I don't know what those emails were, but she was deleting a bunch of emails, said she got a virus on her computer, blah blah blah. So yeah, just touch on that more. Make that mean something. Instead, the only thing you did was you had the dad outside, and he breaks down and cries. So we get an emotional like, oh man, he's really going through it. But that's it. That's it.
Hmm.
Like it'd have been to me. I think if you're going to do that, if you're going to go that far, and I'm glad they didn't do this. So let me start by that. But if you're going to make it to where the mom is messed up in some illegal stuff and blah blah blah, maybe she's the one that's selling drugs to that kid who's killing all the girls. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But instead, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. It's wasted
That
motion.
w- that would have been a hell of a reveal though.
Yeah, it would have.
Like to find out like I'm selling drugs to the person who's about to kill my
Yeah.
kid's friend. That'd have been a nice reveal actually.
I'm good for one every now and then.
I mean, if they didn't execute it right, it'd have been terrible. But like,
Yeah.
I'm envisioning in my mind like the mom and dad coming back from that conference trip. They see that kid on the. I don't know. That kid was coming over already though. I don't know. But I guess it could have been bought from a friend. Anywho, I'm not going to get into the tangent. One thing
Maybe,
that
maybe after she breaks down in the living room crying because she sees her son there, maybe the cops show up right then and bust her for selling drugs. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. One thing that I won't say it's a big qualm, but it didn't make no sense. Is like, why did the presidents move Chloe's shit around? Like it didn't really warn her or anything. Like you just moved her books and like let her
Yeah.
know that like the presence was there. Like you're just inconveniencing me. You know, like you're just hiding my Roku remote. Like don't do that to me.
Yeah. So move, moving the books off the bed and onto the desk. That was like, okay, I guess that's just the president's wanting Chloe to know, hey, I'm here, but it didn't mean anything. And her scream, I wouldn't like. I wouldn't scream. I would just be like, "How did the books get there? Did my mom come in here and move these books? Like, what? How'd that happen?" I wouldn't have screamed. What is that about? But the second time when Buddy's in the bedroom with her and the presence makes the closet fall down, that did mean something. That did, because he
That
was
was
trying
good.
to. Yeah, that
Warn
was
him,
good.
yeah.
He was stopping that from happening and moving the orange juice glass off the table and spilling it so she didn't get drugged right then. Okay, that means something. That's good. But that, and then another one that I just thought of was when the camera would all shake all crazy, but nothing in the house was moving. It's literally just the camera shaking. That didn't do anything for me, because if it was doing and people were like, "Whoa, what is that?" Like, the house was shaking, but it's literally just the camera, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. I'm good with wrapping it up right here. I think we've had a pretty nice little discussion on it. I'm just gonna say, man, I've seen 3 horror movies in January so far. I've been sick a lot, so I haven't been able to go as much. I've liked all 3 of them. Peter Pan, shout out Scott Chambers, Companion, and Presence. I've liked all 3 of these movies so far. They're all so unique and different, but I've enjoyed all 3 of them. What about you?
Yeah, I gave this movie a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. This is so far, this is the highest rated movie I've seen this year, and I just counted. I've seen 8 movies this year in the theater, just in January. Not all horror, obviously, but this was the highest rated one that I have. I have seen a bad one. You're going to see it soon, I think. Wolfman. I didn't care for it. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't that good. Um, I thought this movie was really good. Like I said, I loved the way it was shot. I liked the story. It reminded me a lot of a Ghost Story from A24, which I rated really high. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. Hopefully, if you're hearing me say this, it means you've already seen the movie, because we just spoiled the entire thing.
Yes, we did. It's a good movie though. I'm excited to review it down the road. It's gonna be a fun one. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate y'all listening. Go support cinema like Dustin says, and yeah, hoping to do a bunch of instant reactions this year to a lot of
Yeah,
good movies.
yeah, yeah. See y'all later.